One of the things you say in your book is that we really have to move away from that destructive debate between defined benefits and defined contributions. And the bigger debate there is the haves and the have-nots. We have to find a middle ground that's more sustainable. Are you seeing any signs of that happening?
Well, I think that the opportunity is this lack of coverage of pension plans for private sector workers. And that creates the opportunity of thinking of how to do that right, rather than, I think, the envy thing that you and Jim wrote about the rich public sector plans. I think they're on their own trajectory. I think they will have to get stabilized using a different dynamic. It has to do there with providing more information about the cost of these plans, about how risk is being borne, and that's an important discussion to have. But it's one that's not directly relevant to workers without pension plans. And I think the best that we can do for them is to get them into something which makes sense, which is cost effective, which they don't have to think about a lot, but automatically allows them to accumulate retirement wealth that eventually then becomes an incremental pension to what we do with respect to OAS and CPP.
One of the things you also talk about is target benefits, which, simply put, tries to draw the best of both a defined contribution and defined benefit. Why don't you just give the audience just a general explanation of why you would fight for that, why you think that's the way?
So in the old days, I think that we thought DB was the natural way to go is because of the demographics and because we lived in what turned out to be a quite maybe extraordinary period of time of high economic growth, double-digit returns. And I think in that kind of world, you can convince yourself that all this is affordable. And I think that's gone now, and there's an increasing recognition around the world that that period is gone, and that we have to rethink, and that we can't offer these guarantees that we used to be able to offer what appeared to be at no cost. And now we recognize that offering guarantees is expensive. Somebody has to underwrite them, and we have to ask the question, well, who's going to do the underwriting here? And when you start asking those kinds of questions, you realize that it's not reasonable to assume that the next generation will just simply underwrite whatever promises we make to ourselves. So I think that's part of the dynamic that's getting us now to realize, to move to a thought process that says, we would like to target this level of retirement income, and under these assumptions, this is what we need to do, but without the historical guarantees.
Right.